How do guys? Welcome back to Edgar TV. Sorry for the late start. You may notice due to the graphic on the screen that it's not quite going to plan at the moment. Me and technology, we kind of need it to go straight away first time, and I'm guessing Danny is exactly the same with this sort of thing due to the fact that we can't seem to get his microphone working. We either get a picture or we're never getting sound. So what we've done is we've tried to dial in by phone, which means it might not be as smooth as it was before, but hopefully we'll be able to hear him. Danny, do you want to say hello to the Edgar Nation? Hopefully they'll be able to hear what you say.
Hello, Edgar Nation.
Have we got that, guys? Can we hear Danny coming through on the phone? Obviously, I get the quality's not going to be as strong as normal, but can we hear Danny coming through, guys? I mean, this is a big moment for Danny, so hopefully we can hear it, because Danny's been obviously dying to get here on Edgar TV. He said he wanted this much more than the World Championships, so hopefully the dream's coming true for him. I'll just wait for the chat to confirm they can hear you, and then we can get on with the... Yes, they can hear you. Yes, we've got you in.
Oh, all right.
Good, we've solved the problem. They can hear you. Brilliant. So, as I mentioned a second ago, this is like your dream, isn't it, Danny? Be here on Edgar TV?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Ever since I met you over there at the World Championships, that was no longer my goal was to win. That was my new goal was to make sure that I got on here before Q School. And you have just made my dream come true, and I appreciate that.
That's what we do here on Edgar TV. We make dreams come true, and that's another one done there. I've got lots of talking points that I want to bring up actually today as well. And Edgar Nation, if there's anything you want to ask Danny as well, Jodie is sat literally at the side of me here with a pen and paper. She'll be making a note and writing down all your questions, and we'll get as many of them through to Danny as we possibly can tonight. So drop your questions in the chat box and we'll get through to there. Obviously, I've got a few myself to start off with. So, I think the first place to start, Danny, you've got some new darts out recently. Are we going to be seeing these at Q School, or is that a bit too early to be seeing the new darts in action?
Well, since you asked, I actually, right after the World Championships, I put a good hard 2 weeks in with them, and I was throwing very well. I played 3 of my the CDC tour. I know you're familiar with that.
Yep.
And I played 3 matches, and I won with a 92, a 94, and I beat the Mauler, Gary Mawson, 8-1 with a 106 average with those darts. And
nice.
And then that COVID struck. So, yeah, you're going to see them at Q School, and I'm excited to use them and to show what I got.
You went straight into one of my other questions as well, though, actually. You said the COVID struck. Now, we've seen other players in the past, such as Glenn Durant, who said that the COVID knocked him quite a bit. And we spoke on Messenger recently, didn't we, during the time when you announced on social media that you had COVID. How much of an effect does it have, does it affect your practice routines? Can you not practice at all?
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, once you get done with the quarantine and I came out and I tried to throw a dart, it was so hard to even balance, and I was still out of breath, and I'd play 1 or 2 legs, and I couldn't even stand anymore because I got dizzy. I don't wish that upon anyone. I know it's taking lives, and it's getting a lot of people sick, and I never knew how serious it was until I caught it. And even now, when I'm playing, it's I'm about 90%. I can go 6 to 10 to 15 legs throwing, and then I'm just exhausted. So, yeah, it struck pretty hard.
Does that mean that maybe you're going to be at Q School sort of trying to manage the day a little bit more, because Q School is a long day, it's a long slog, especially that final stage, there's only a tour card to the winning spot. Does that mean it's going to be a lot of sitting down in between, trying to manage the day, rest through that?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. It's new for me. As you know, I just like to play, and I can't. I'm not gonna be able to throw that much, and I'm not gonna want to. So it's gonna be, play a match. If I win, then sit down. Wait till I get to maybe get called my next match, and then take my 9 darts, whatever they allow us to, and then just go from there. So I'm pretty much gonna let muscle memory take over and see what happens.
Yeah, managing the day is probably one of the best bits of advice I could give from Q School, from the experiences I've been through it. They're a long day, long slog, mental as well as physical demands, obviously, on there. Another thing you put on your social media recently was about the 10-day quarantine that you've got to do to go to the UK. Has there been any offer maybe to try the European, or have you even looked at the European as maybe somewhere that you might not have to do this quarantining on arrival?
Yeah, it was an option, and then a lot of people kind of misinterpreted what I was meaning by the 10-day quarantine. PDC does a phenomenal job with what they're doing with the darts and pretty much allowing us to get on with it and play. But it's hard for us because as much as I want to make my dream come true, the managing, the taking the extra 10 days off just to get over there, quarantining and stuff like that just made it really, really difficult. And so a lot of the players are actually like Leonard Gates and Chris White and Larry Butler. They're actually thinking about going to Germany, and it crossed my mind as well. But I'm still going to go to the UK, so we're gonna see what happens there.
Nothing beats 10 days in a UK hotel, does it? We
Absolutely, right?
Yeah, exactly. We had that all on the during the World Championship, didn't we? We had our little bubble environment down there. So,
yeah, that was a good time.
You've mentioned a couple of American players already, and you mentioned about playing and throwing these good averages over in America. But how hard is it to play in America? Now, I remember I spoke to a couple when I went over to London, Ontario, and I was speaking to a couple of the local Canadian players, and for them they was talking about like 3 and 4 hour drives just to play like a decent enough standard of tournament. Now, I'm personally spoilt, I moan about driving an hour and a half down the road. Is it quite like that where you are? Do you have to go quite far to get a good standard of darts, or are you in quite a hotbed in America?
No, it's a long travel for basically anywhere. In order to play anything, now that the CDC has come along, even to play the CDC, it's a 2, 3, 4 hour flight. There's not much driving to get to a tournament or anything like that. If you want to play the standard of darts in the big tournaments here in the States, it's a long haul.
Yeah. What do you think would be sort of the next stage then for American darts? Is it sort of, is there the players there to maybe have a 128 sort of American tour, like an elite tour? Or do you think maybe it's where the PDC are coming over like with the World Series? And do you think that's sort of like the next stage for American darts?
Yeah, it's like I touched on before, the CDC, what they're doing with their tour is unbelievable. As long as they're able to keep on going, and the PDC has kind of bought into what they're doing, and that's the biggest thing for American darts right now. But other than that, we couldn't get 128 players in the U.S. that will come out and play, which is the unfortunate part. We have thousands and thousands and thousands of dart players all across the states, but for them to come out and travel, it's like they're not wanting to. So we have maybe 32 to 64 players that will compete each week and week in, week out, whatever the case may be, but that's still not enough.
Yeah, it's the depth, isn't it? And that's obviously what the PDC's got, and it's obviously why you want to be over here. If you did get a tour card from Q School, would you relocate over here, or would you be like a John Part and sort of be back and forwards, or would you be full Kyle Anderson, Damon Heta, and be like, right, I'm going to relocate in the UK, I've got 2 years, let's see how this goes?
I have the benefit of having a couple of great people and businesses backing me for the first year or two to go back and forth. But I am going to, if I can, I'm going to stay over there a month or two at a time, depending on, the practice and how close the tournaments are. So I have a lot of options, and that's the reason why I felt like I could not miss this Q School, and the time is now for me.
Yeah, you missed last year. I actually put you on an Edgar TV video where I tipped like 10 people who was going to get through Q School, and you was on one of my 10, and then you didn't come. Was there a reason behind?
Yeah, we have a newborn baby, and he was just turning 1. I'm a big family man. I put my family first,
Yeah.
and I don't trust anyone with my kids. No disrespect to any of my friends, but there's a handful of people that are able to watch him, and the person that we had watching him for the World Championships when I was over there last year for a good 2-3 weeks, couldn't take the time off and had to back out last minute to watch him this time. So I made the decision to stay home and not go.
Fair enough, yeah, fair enough. I'd probably be the same. I remember over the World Championships they were saying, like, don't go home, and I'm like, I'm not missing Christmas with my son, for sure, especially when I'm just a drive up the road. So, like you say, darts is important to us, and it's big, but there's more to life, isn't there? So, Tristan Mitchell's asked, who is your favourite dart player? Is it the Edgar, or are we going more local with like a John Part?
That's a great question, and the Edgar is climbing up there because I feel like we click very well, man.
Yeah.
I had such a great time there. But just by hanging around, I don't just look at the darts as, hey, you're a great dart player, so I'm going to choose you like MVG, you know. I look at people I hang with. So I'm going to have to go with the Edgar and Kim hybrids.
Hey, there you go. That's going to get clipped. That's going on Twitter. When you get your card in January, favourite player, the Edgar. That's going to be all over social media. Have you had much interaction with John Part over the years?
Yeah, we used to play back in the day. He's not really playing in the States as much. He plays the CDC when he can, of course. But the last time I seen him, I played him in the CDC series probably a year or two ago.
Yeah, because I was watching one of your games, and John Part mentioned in that about how confident you are and how you don't really fear anybody. And I remember the first ever conversation we had together, and it was that sort of, who are you playing and who are you playing? And you mentioned about how when you looked at the pot of players, you sort of said there was 2 players that you would probably prefer to avoid. And I thought, wow, 2 players out of the 32 players. You know, when we've got people in that pot like Ryan Searle, for example, just to chuck one name out there. And it's like, wow, and that's a level of confidence to say, like, I don't really care about these 32 players that have played the Pro Tour all year and qualified for the World Championship via this method. That don't mean a thing to me. Is that a sign of the confidence you've got? And with that, is there anyone that you would like to avoid at Q School?
Yeah, I'm not big. You know, I never like to say that I'm cocky or anything like that. I'm never arrogant or like that to anyone or try to present myself that way. But confidence is there 100%. And quite frankly, I never care who I play. I just don't, because I can only do what I do on the dartboard. If they outplay me, then, you know, tip your hat off and shake their hand. But if I play like I know I can and I get comfortable, that's the thing for me is once I get over there and get comfortable, I feel like I can compete with anyone over there. And I've always been like that. And the last couple of years have been the first time I've really been able to kind of show that.
Someone's asked in the chat here, Oliver said, when are we going to see Edgar versus Baggish? That probably be on the Pro Tour next year. You know, that might be one that we see along the way.
Absolutely, fingers crossed.
Mark Ewan, and if you watched before, you know I'm terrible at saying names, so Mark, I do apologise, has asked about what's your darting nickname? Now, we know it's the Gambler. Is there a backstory to this? And I'm sure someone said something about poker about this, actually.
Yeah, I love cards. There's a little bit of a backstory to it. Back in the year 2009, my dad was big into poker, and he was gambling in the casino. He made the final table, and he went up the escalator and had a heart attack and passed away, actually. So I have always been, him and I have always been big into poker. So from, you know, that point on, I've always been a big gambler, whether it was poker or playing basketball or anything. I'm always wanting to gamble in the craziest things. And it doesn't even have to be money. It can be a drink or whatever the case may be. So someone gave it to me and was like, man, you're just a gambler, aren't you? And it kind of stuck with everyone, and that's how I got it.
Love that. Love that. And also, I am a big fan of poker myself, so let's hope you do get on the tour. We can have some good hotel poker games along the way.
Oh, absolutely. It's funny you say that. We had one. Just after Christmas break with me, Dimitri, Mensor, and Kim Hybricks, and I happened to win one of them. We played two little tournaments, and I won one. So they better watch out.
I've played poker with Kim before, and I think you'll probably be able to back me up on this. Kim is a terrible poker player, but extremely lucky. He'll chuck in on anything, and he always seems to hit.
They say one-outers are hard to hit, but I definitely seen him get lucky a couple of times. But him being my second favorite player, tied with you. I don't want to talk any negative about his horrible poker play.
Yeah, well, you used the right word, horrible poker play. You got it in there. He just chucks in on everything. Dean Winstanley as well. He was terrible. He just literally kept chucking in as well on that. So,
oh no,
yeah, there's another one for you. Watch out for him. He chucks in. We've got someone called Tim here. He's mentioned. He actually messaged me before we came on stream actually to ask this question as well. He says, "Do you offer any form of coaching, or would you consider that? Apparently, you don't live too far from you."
Ask that again.
Coaching. Have you ever considered coaching or helping other players locally?
Yeah. If I have the time, absolutely. I never forget where I come from, so I know I was there at one point where I was just beginning, not a good dart player, and I wanted to get better. So anytime that I can share my knowledge, advice, and anyone asks me, I'll never turn someone away. I always at least shoot them a message, give them my advice and my ideas how someone can get better. No problem whatsoever. Always will try to help somebody.
So there you go, Tim. You can find Danny on various forms of social media. Drop him a message. He'll help you out, Tim. We've got Ramesh asking, do you follow any other sports apart from darts?
Yeah, I don't know if a lot of people noticed my tattoos on my arms, but I love all sports: basketball, football, soccer, anything. I really follow anything. So if there's something on and it's on TV and I'm able to watch it, I'm rooting for somebody.
We're going to have to sort that out if you're going to be coming over to the UK. It's not soccer, it's football. We're going to have to get that sorted if you're coming here. We're very passionate about our football over here. We don't play it with our hands. Football is a kicking game. So
I got it.
Toronto Daddy's asked, do you play any soft tip?
Yeah, absolutely. I love soft tip. I actually there was a point in time for a lot of years that I preferred soft tip because it was a bigger paying event than steel tip. So I love soft tip. I'm always playing.
Is that cricket as well?
Yeah, cricket. I think I'm a better cricket player than 501. Just cricket. Because of the strategy and a lot of chess play in cricket. So I think I'm the best cricket player in the nation.
This will be good, actually. This is a question from me now, then. So how I play cricket is I literally try and get, even if I'm just 1 point ahead of my opponent, and then try and close it out. Where some people will throw for scores and try and rack up a score. Am I right in the way I play? Like, just get a point ahead and then try and close it out?
You're never wrong if you win.
Right.
Okay. But no, I disagree with your strategy.
Right, okay, interesting. That'll have to be something else we get up to. We'll have to have some games of cricket, and I'd like to see the different styles, because my cricket play I learnt off of Kevin Painter, but Kevin Painter's cricket play only came because they used to do a Cricket World Championship over in Las Vegas when they used to do the Vegas Desert Masters.
Classic, yeah.
Yeah, and that's sort of the only experience that they've got. So yeah, that's where that came from. So I'd be interested to see the different strategies actually to that.
Absolutely. We'll definitely get on with that. I'll be over. Now listen, I'll be over there for at least a month or two, whether I get my card or not. So You can't hide for so long to play cricket.
Definitely, and actually the Q School's in Milton Keynes, which is about 25 minutes away from my house. So
now you're just giving more reason why you cannot say no.
Yeah, there might have to be some cricket and maybe a hand or two of poker in there as well when you're over. When is it you're coming over then? When exactly? Because you've obviously got that quarantine that we said about. Has that affected your actual flights? Have you pulled them back a little bit to make sure?
Yes, this has been a total disaster. There was actually a point in time one of them was like, well, maybe you should just think about going to Germany or just wait till next year, and I got really upset with that conversation. Yeah, it's messed up a lot of things. We have to fly out Monday, and when we fly out Monday, we'll get there Tuesday, which is exactly 10 days before I play.
Right. So
there's a potential I might miss the first day and play the other two, which I would not be happy with. So I'm hoping that that there's a little clause there that where we could quarantine for 5 days, and have the negative test quarantine for 5 days, and then head over. So I'm hoping that's the case. And if so, then great. If not, I'm going to have to buckle down and just qualify for the 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah, just get it all done in one. Yeah, just do it in a day and chill for the rest of it.
Absolutely.
Zumba Queen's asked about darts in America, and you've mentioned a couple of American players already. Is there anyone that we should be watching at Q School? Do you believe that there's a little dark horse we might not have heard about who might be in the running for a card coming over with you?
Absolutely, and he's actually been my doubles partner for years, and for a long time we battled back and forth, and it's Leonard Gates. A lot of last year he went and I was following him, and he averaged 93 for the 4 days, and he didn't get a tour card, which was so frustrating for me, and I think that was a reason why they needed to change it, because he lost some hard battles. He's just an unbelievable player. He had me down 5-3 at the North American Championship for me to qualify last year, and I was lucky enough to reel off 3 straight. But his quality is unbelievable. He can average 88 to 95 easily, and he can also average those 100 pluses.
Ricky Hines asked about the Super Bowl. I'm guessing that's coming up. I'm not a massive into my American football. He's asked about who's your tip for the Super Bowl. I'm guessing that's coming up.
Yeah, it's the GOAT, Tom Brady, the best quarterback to ever play the game. I'm not a fan of him, but you can't argue greatness. Versus potentially the best quarterback ever to play the game 10 years from now, Patrick Mahomes. And unfortunately, I think Kansas City and their offense is going to be too much for Tampa Bay, and they're going to win probably by 7 to 10 points.
Win by 7 to 10 points is the bit I understood out of all of that. So there's your answer, Ricky. By 7 to 10 points, what Danny just said. So Chris Holwood's asked, what are your aspirations? Obviously the first step is to get a tour card, which then will get you in the UK Open. So the first major has been a tour card holder. But then what does the next sort of year or so look like for yourself?
Yeah, once I get my tour card, my goal will be never to relinquish that tour card again.
Yeah.
And I think that, like I said, I'm not the arrogant type, but my aspirations is in my dream, and what I think I can do is win a title while I'm on the tour, and that's just from what I think that. From all the hard work I've put in. So that's the goal.
So that's the goal looking forward. If we just bring it back a bit, what would you say so far is your favourite achievement in darts? Other than meeting Edgar.
Beating the 2-time world. Well, this is my second. Obviously, everyone knows meeting you was my greatest achievement.
Yeah.
But beating two-time world champion Adrian Lewis with his own darts has to be the story of a lifetime that I'll never forget.
You just took the next question right out of my mouth. There was, I think it was in a room, wasn't it? It was me, you, Vincent, and Michael Van Gerwen, and we was just having a bit of a chat. And then you brought up the fact that you're playing Adrian Lewis, and you're going to be playing him with his own darts, and you beat him with those darts. Was there any point that you wanted to, like, just bring it up in, like, every single interview you've ever had that I beat Adrian Lewis with his own darts?
Oh, absolutely. You know, and I do it all out of fun. It's no dig to him. Obviously, he's a legend of the sport in my eyes. Anytime you win a world championship, and he's a two-time world champion. So, but yeah, I always try to make sure that there was an angle or like a little road for me to lead up to that question. Yeah. To push it to say that I beat him with his own darts. You wanted
someone to... Dan Dawson's normally good for that. If you ever want someone to ask you a question, Dan, if you feed him a little bit, he'll set you up lovely. He's the he's the interviewer you want to get. Just feed him a little bit and he'll run with it. So,
that's good to know.
Josh Atkinson has asked, how good did it feel to hit a 170 at the Worlds? Now, obviously, we know that your man here, the primetime player, hit a 170 finish to beat Gary Anderson at the Summer Series. And I can say that it's a great achievement to hit a 170. Obviously, there are big things, like on the World Championship stage. You know, you say, my first darts, or my first 3 darts, your first 180. That 170, how nice is that?
Well, I mean, listen now. I was the first one to hit the 170 at the World Championships of 2020. So, it's the best feeling ever. I could be a question on some kind of game show.
Yeah. Yeah, like the Edgar is, you know, who is the best, highest checkout of the tournament, 75%, you know.
Exactly. So you get it.
Right, honestly now, when you come off stage, did you think, or did you even ask, or did you look and go, is there a prize for the highest finish of this tournament?
Yes. Yes, of course. Of course, only because I knew a couple years ago there was, right? Yeah. So when I found out there wasn't, that was kind of crap, but why not? And, you know, given the circumstances with what I was going through with my brother and all that, so it was just a great moment, man. All craziness aside, it was a great moment. And hitting that 170, I think, forced and put it into Adrian's head to go for the 170 the next leg.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, I'd say darts is a mental battle as well, isn't it? A lot of the time. So, do you have a favourite double? Is there anything like you will try and set up on a regular basis?
Absolutely. Yeah, double 10.
Double 10.
Yep.
Well, okay. It's hard actually that people have a sort of a favourite double that's like a breakdown of a different double. Would you deliberately try and leave double 10, or would you try and set up for like a tops if you could, or would you try and surpass straight past that if possible?
Nah, if I have something like 48 left, and I know the match is on the line, I'll shoot the 8 double tops and I'll shoot low just to know that I might get a shot at the double 10. If I have 3 darts at double 10, I feel like that I'm going to hit it with those 3 darts every time.
Well, yeah. To be fair, I'm the same with 8s. You know, you just get this this comfort factor, don't you, with certain doubles, and you get a good feel. It just feels natural, don't it? It feels good, and you just know that you can depend on it in those moments.
Absolutely. And actually, against Adrian, I don't know if you know this, but the first 4 legs I won was on double 10.
Right. Okay. That's It's interesting, all the different stats that people don't realise that they've got. Mm-hmm. Like us as players, we know certain stats and we know certain things, and there's certain things like we'll be aware of, but then they don't really get picked up by like the statisticians or the people that put certain things out there. And
right.
You know, that's one of those sort of situations, isn't it? You know, where you're aware of the 10s, and I'm guessing that just grows and grows more with the confidence on the 10s to the point where you almost feel that you can throw them backwards and they're going in the 10s.
Absolutely.
Regarding walk-ons, then, have we? Are we settled with where we are with that, or are we going? I'm coming over. I'm getting a card. I'm going to package myself up. Zumba Queen's asked if you're going to actually dance down the walk-on. Now, you don't strike me too much as the dancing type, but we've certainly seen you at the Ali Pally doing almost like a forwards-facing Chris Jericho at the front of the aisle. Loving that. I mean, do you think you're gonna? Do we see a big walk-on for Danny Baggish?
I don't know if you guys know this, but last year at the World Championships, I changed my song to "Pump It Up," and I changed it to "Pump It Up" because when I went to a pub, there was a group of young men that loved the song and changed the wording, and they said "Bag it up." Right, and then Glenn Durant decided to change his song right after me to the same thing.
Right.
I was so mad.
Right, so
I was so mad.
So it's Glenn's fault then. Glenn's
really... yeah, 100%. And you can use that as ammunition because I know y'all get along great on Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah. So he stole it off you. Just to clarify, he stole your walk-on song. So first,
already a great dart player, better than I am. That's no secret. Now you're going to take my walk-on song? Come on, man.
No need, is there? No need. He tried to take it off Adrian Lewis, but Adrian Lewis said no. And,
yeah.
You know, maybe you need to have that conversation with him. First Pro Tour of the year. If you want, I'll stand in a corner somewhere and back you up at a distance. And you can go up to him and you can lay the law down, lay the smacketh down, as The Rock would say.
Yeah, if you smell what I'm cooking, I might do that.
Jake Parsons asked, what first got you into darts?
Oh man, back when I was about 11 years old, instead of going outside and playing football and basketball with my friends, I would get my homework done, and my dad was big into darts, and we throw darts in front of the TV in the living room.
Right. Nice. Did you have any inspiration when you first started watching darts on TV? Like, for example, John Norman Jr. I've just seen you come up. What a guy. Love John Norman Jr.
If you ever see me celebrate by hitting a fat 16 to set someone up, please kick me off the tour.
I spoke to John about that, and he goes, if you think leaving a 3-time world champion on a double isn't worth celebrating, and I'm like, John, I love you. Yeah, I want John Norman Jr. If this ever gets anywhere, please come back to Q School. We need John Norman Jr. on the tour. He was brilliant.
Oh man!
It is funny because we all know the story. I just mentioned his name, and straight away you're straight to a big 16.
Oh my gosh, it's so bad. I like the guy. I've met him, a couple times and played against him, but oh jeez,
brilliant.
I didn't want to watch it anymore.
Put you off darts rather than inspired you.
Right.
Oliver Williams has asked, when you was over in London, obviously in England we've got like certain cuisines. Did you manage to sample some fish and chips? This is going to sound crazy. I'm not a big fish and chips fan. No?
But I will say England has the best lamb kebabs I've ever had in my life.
Really? Wow, you've obviously not had many good lamb kebabs then, because I think they suck over here. Although there's some good ones actually. There's a really good one actually near me. Maybe if this lockdown's lifted over here, which I don't know, but if it is and it's open while you're over here, I could certainly take you to somewhere. Homemade kebab meat. It's incredible.
Don't tease me.
The mouth is dribbling all. Good job your camera's not on, isn't it? You're drooling all over the place.
Absolutely. I just wiped the drool off my chin.
Are you watching the Masters at the moment?
I was. I mean, not at the. Yeah, I was watching the Masters. Man, Nathan just 5-match darts for Mensur, huh?
Yeah, they didn't do that before, did he? He didn't miss anything at the World Championships. Benny Murphy's asked, who do you think's who's the winner? Who are you going for?
Just because I love the story behind it and the way he's been playing ever since last year. Man, Mervyn King is playing great, ain't he?
Oh wow, yeah, brilliant at the World Championship. 100 average yesterday. Players Championship runner-up.
That's my pick. That's my upset pick. Is I think Mervyn King's going to win this year. You heard it here first.
And then that'll obviously put him in the Premier League as well, I'd guess.
You have to. I think you have to.
Just for the facials. Just for the facials, it'd be good.
Absolutely. And I hope he plays everyone that celebrates.
Would you celebrate if you played him?
Oh yeah, just so we can get the memes on Facebook.
Yes. The what is wrong with you, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Jay's asking in the chat. He says, "How's your golf game?" I believe that's what you're doing. Literally, the second we finish this call, aren't you? You're going for a game of golf.
Yeah, my golf game is average at best. But they say the average player shoots a 120. I'm in the mid to high 80s.
Again, I'm not too sure. I've played golf a few times, but that clown always gets in my way. You know, on the last hole, with the teeth drop down. And I don't know how you get around that clown. He's a pain, he is. But...
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Alistair Gilchrist, great question here, has said, if you were to base yourself in the UK, whereabouts would you be looking to locate?
I have zero clue.
Somewhere.
I would ask some people that I've got close to or practice darts with, like maybe Edgar TV, Mr. Matthew Edgar, to see if
top advice.
We have any good spots. But I don't know. I've never even looked into it.
Just get a pin, stick it in. I'll live there.
Pin the donkey. Pin's where you're gonna live.
Adam Hinchcliffe is asking about the weather. He's asking, what's the weather like in Florida? And are the rumours true? Is Florida just like, we're so over COVID now, just crack on?
Unfortunately. So I'll answer your first question. The weather's great. It's cold over here. It's like 70 degrees. So the COVID, like I went to a dart tournament last night, and I was the only one wearing a mask.
Wow.
I'll always wear one just because I've been through it. Yeah. So yeah, it's unfortunate, really.
Yeah, I suppose if you've been through it and you've had that sort of, you've experienced what it's actually like, and you know that it's not just rumours and hype, then, and we don't know if it's even possible to get twice. So certainly you'd want to obviously avoid that side of it again.
Right. I'm not willing to find out.
The chat box is saying you should relocate to Daventry. That'd be good. We could get some good practice sessions going. That'd be good. Oliver Williams has said maybe you should go to Middlesbrough so you can sort Glenn Durrant out about nicking your walk-on song.
Oh, okay. Hey, we'll talk after this. Just shoot me a message. Maybe we could stalk him a little bit.
Yeah. We'll tag team him. It'd be more like a handicap match, wouldn't it? 2-on-1, that. Although,
yeah, absolutely.
Although Glenn's Twitter base, they go. Yeah, they're more than happy to jump on and hurl some abuse. So it's more like a lumberjack match with Glenn. Couple more questions, and we'll get you on to your golf. Are you a wrestling fan? I know you jumped straight on the rock with the Lay of the SmackDown, or are we out of wrestling now?
No, I've always been a wrestling fan. I have a great quick story for you. My dad was military, and we were up in Maryland, and a few of the wrestlers came by, and one of them was Andre the Giant.
Lovely. And
he picked me up and asked me who my favorite wrestler was, and with a straight face, I looked at him and said, Hulk Hogan, and he put me down.
Just walked off. So, that's obviously a life sort of time of wrestling knowledge. Who's winning the Rumble tomorrow?
It's all based on the character at the time, and I haven't even been keeping up with it a lot because I don't know if Roman Reigns is back.
He's a champion at the minute, yeah.
Yeah, he is, right?
Yeah.
So I know he was going through that cancer stuff. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no clue because I haven't watched it in probably 3 months.
Yeah, I'm the same. Just not got a lot of time for it, and I'm trying to judge what people think and where they think it's going to go. But
Yeah.
it's a tough one. Nick McCartan's asked, "Have you got any tips for dealing with nerves?"
I think nerves is a good thing. It's just What's helped me is watching Dimitri Vandenberg play. I see him take a lot of deep breaths, and I tried that, and it really does calm you down. But let out the celebrations; those calm you down as well. Letting out that adrenaline, I think those calm you down as well. Other than that, alcohol.
that's your go-to. Someone's put beer in there as well. I say the same. Nerves are good. Nerves are a sign of adrenaline cooking in.
Yep.
Shaking's good. If you look at what adrenaline does, it's going to increase the senses of sight, the senses of touch. If I could bottle up now and hand you a bottle and say, drink that, and you're going to have better sight and better feel to go play that game of darts, you'd ask me for a crate of it.
Absolutely.
And you can get it naturally. So, yeah, it's not fighting it, isn't it? And that, like you say, enjoying it, not fearing the future, and just enjoying the game. You know, that's ultimately what we started playing this for, wasn't it? So
that's it. Just live in that moment. Like bottle it in and live in the moment and take it.
Okay, I'll do two more. I'll do two more because I know you're trying to get to a game of golf today. Do you have another job other than darts?
I'm actually enjoying this. I'm in no hurry. They want to ask. This is great interview. I don't mind. I'm not. My tea time's not for another hour unless you're kicking me off here. Jeez.
Oh no, I'm sure the Edgar Nation will have you much longer. I'll give Jodie another piece of paper so she can write down some more questions. So guys, get your questions in the chat box. We'll go a bit longer.
Yeah. So no. I was lucky enough to have a great last year and to sign one of the biggest contracts in U.S. dart histories. Darts is my job.
Lovely. And obviously, that if you get your card, that'll mean as well you'll be playing in the World Cup team, I believe, if you get your card, wouldn't you? Which would obviously give you some more time on Sky Sports, which is never a bad thing.
Yeah, and I'm big for playing for my country, so that would be such an emotional feeling and time for me. So that's one of my dreams.
Ricky Hine, he's from over your way, has said, what is better, Krispy Kreme or Dunkin' Donuts? Now, if it's like Krispy Kreme we get here in the UK, I can honestly say they are so sickly and they suck. So without even going with this, I would say Dunkin' Donuts. What's your opinion on Krispy Kreme or Dunkin' Donuts? Where are we going?
Oh, it has to be Dunkin' Donuts.
I'd say the same, and that's based on the fact that I've tried one of them.
Yeah, it just tastes to me. It tastes more fresh.
Frank Oakwood has said, is there any support from any like the US Darts Association or any support from sort of like the hierarchies over there?
In what aspect? Like support for me, just me, or what?
I'd guess that means Frank. If I'm interpreting this wrong, then let me know in the chat box. But yeah, I'd guess that he means in that sort of context, like any support for you, trying to get you down these certain avenues.
Yeah, there's a lot, and they're trying to do a lot to support me and help me, whether it's traveling and so forth. But I don't want the focus just to be on me. So I want it to be, there's 4 to 6 players that I think can get their cards, and I think that'll be great for North American Darts period and the PDC. So support's great, yeah.
Brilliant. Osty TV, I've literally just seen his question come in the chat box here, so I'm going to jump in before Jodie writes it down. Do we have a celebrity crush?
Oh, a celebrity crush. God, who don't? Yeah. Oh, man, let's go with... Megan Fox.
Megan Fox, right. Here comes... this is where it's bad. I've heard the name, but let's just Google quickly.
Don't know who Megan Fox is?
I can't picture her in my head.
She was in Transformers. That's probably
Yep.
where she was known for best.
Hang on, when did you come into this interview?
I'm just completely,
I've got Google right here, you know.
I can't believe that you just don't know who Megan Fox
Well, when
is.
did I ever watch Transformers?
But she's quite well known in other things as well.
Yeah, I'm not quite... I don't think I'm quite there with that one.
No.
No, I'm not quite on that. I think maybe the chat box is going to brutalise me now for that. But... another question here, going back to football. Who do you support?
I'm sorry.
Do you support?
If you don't mind me asking real quick, Matthew. Football or soccer?
NFL.
Okay, thank you.
NFL, yeah. Who's your team?
Come on, guys. I need you guys to watch me play some darts. San Francisco's on my arm. Who asked that question? We're going to have to talk afterwards.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to call him out, and that was Nick McCartan.
All right, Nick, Facebook me. We got to talk about this.
CB15 just put in here, Edgar's crush is Alexa Bliss. Now, this is quite funny, actually. So, we was... someone said, like, oh, Matt, who's your favourite female wrestler or something? And Jodie piped up straight away. Now, I didn't even knew she knew a single wrestler, and literally said straight away, she goes, Alexa Bliss, and I'm like, you are? How did you know that? You know, it's like they know everything. They are watching.
Listen, I love Alexa Bliss too, so that's a great. But I'm old school, so I was a big Trish Stratus.
Trish Stratus, there, yeah.
Yeah. So, but Alexa Bliss, absolutely.
Oh, I need my charger, sharks. Right, there we go. We're back. Right, I'm back. I'll just give it 2 seconds. I'm just going to pull Danny back in. Do you want to put it into the socket though? Let me pull him back in on here. 2 seconds, guys. The joys of technology. Let me just pull him back in on here. Plenty of chance to get a few extra questions in. We can get ahead of the questioning. Where are we going? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We're coming back.
All right, what happened there?
Technology. It literally all went down, but we're there. We're back on. So there's a good opportunity here for some people to chuck some things in there. I think it must have as soon as we say Alexa Bliss and we talk about sort of celebrity crushes, it all goes down.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. I was like, man, it was getting hot in here. I didn't know if that was me or it was because we were talking about Alexa Bliss, and then you just went away.
Yeah. It was Jodie secretly unplugging the Wi-Fi. Like, no, we're not having that conversation. Do you follow the NHL at all, Leo Zest?
Yeah, big New York Rangers fan.
Right. It always looks like a sport I want to go watch. Like baseball is something that it looks like I really want to go watch a game of baseball, and certainly when I come over to America, I want to go watch some baseball. I like the whole. I mean, this might be stereotyping. I don't know, but I like the whole ambience that you see, like, you know, on like The Simpsons or the movies, where you go and you get like a 2-foot long hot dog and a bucket of Mountain Dew.
Absolutely. You guys come to Orlando or Tampa, or wherever case may be. I have an extra bedroom. You guys are more than welcome to stay here, and I'll take you to a baseball game.
Why is WrestleMania not going to be going ahead? Because that would be perfect. Because you got WrestleMania there this year, haven't you, in Tampa, Florida?
Absolutely.
Oh, you know, we was just saying, like, we've got to get to WrestleMania, but it doesn't look like it's going to be with a crowd, that's for sure. I mean, if it is, we're there. And then hopefully straight up to New York not long after. Because there's another... although there's a story you might like, actually. Being the stupid Englishman that I am, I looked at the map and I said, right, we'll go to Tampa, Florida, we'll watch WrestleMania, perfect, and then what we'll do, we'll get a car and we'll drive to New York. Because on the map, it's only from there to there. That's perfectly fine. That's not very far. We'll go from there to there, not a problem. Well...
Oh, God.
When you put it in and it's like, it's a 25-hour drive. It's like, what, to do that?
Yeah, that's great. That is great.
Yeah. These are the things that you don't deal with in the UK, because if you drive from one end of the country to the other, it doesn't take that long.
Right.
Yes, it's mad. It's mad. But I suppose this is what we were saying earlier about trying to find a good level of darts as well, because that level of distance that might be between the players compared to what we've got here in the UK is monstrous.
Absolutely.
So what do you do to find your sort of darts? Do you have like local leagues or local tournaments, or is it always travelling, or is it practicing with partners? You know, what does a standard sort of week or month look like for you to play your darts?
Yeah, it's crazy because where I'm at, it's all soft tip.
Right.
So if I play any steel tip, it's at home.
Do you ever see many people like transition from the soft tip to the steel tip and be successful with that, or is it the second they go steel tip, it all goes wrong for them?
Yeah, and they don't like it because it's so much harder. The triples are 3 times the size, and they get frustrated, and they just go right back to soft tip.
Right, that was going to be my next question, actually, because there's obviously different types of soft tip, isn't there? There's like the soft tip board that's the same, but is competition over there played on the larger soft tip boards?
Yes.
Right, so yeah, like I say, I can imagine it gets quite frustrating for them. Ooh, I've just been handed another sheet of questions, and I'm loving this top one. Edgar TV has said, what is your favourite thing about Edgar TV?
Favorite thing about Edgar TV? The fact that he puts so much time into darts itself and knowing players and statistics and stuff like that. It's probably my favorite thing, being a nerd in that aspect.
Yeah, I'm terrible for that. I like to know everything about darts. I like to know everything about the players. I think sometimes I know more about players than players know about the players. You know, it's
Sure.
But that's part of the fan in me with darts as well. You know, I used to go dressed as Dennis Priestley to the World Match Play.
No.
Yeah, I used to go in my red and black jacket and my Dennis the Menace top, and I used to put my Dennis the Menace doll on the thing. I used to sit there at like 10 years old, like watching the World Match Play, and yeah, I'd be involved in darts one way or the other if I weren't playing, and that would probably be what I'd do. I'd probably, like I say, be full on nerding it out, researching the whole thing, and basically doing what I'm doing now, really, just without the player spin on that as well.
You would be the fans we would want if you didn't play at the World Championships, because you'd be in costume.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. Have you ever gone to the darts in fancy dress?
I have not, no.
Would you consider it one day?
As long as I'm going with you, yes.
And what would we be going dressed as?
Well, if I go as anyone, I would want to put some kind of bald head and be the Asian MVG.
Right, okay. I've got a wig, so I could be Ryan Searle. I don't know if you've seen that video. I've got a
Oh, perfect.
yeah, I've got a Ryan Searle wig, and I've got one of his shirts somewhere as well. So I could be Ryan, and you could be MVG. I've got a bald cap as well, actually, because I did a video where I was Michael Van Gerwen. So we could be Michael and Ryan.
That's perfect. If I could find, you know Larry Butler.
Yep.
If I could find the video, I will send it to you of one of my good friends imitating Larry Butler and his throw.
Right.
It's great. You'll love it.
First ever World Match Play winner, I believe, Larry Butler.
Absolutely.
When do you decide it's the right time to get new darts? Good question, Romesh.
Wow, that's a really good question. I don't know really, because I'm not big on switching darts a lot, and I don't have to require a lot of grip on my dart. So when they wear down from the grip they do have, it actually feels good to me. So good question. It would take a long time for me to get a new set.
Was part of the process of wanting to get a new set this time around down to the fact that you didn't want to come over here and come onto the tour using another professional's darts? Or was it, like you say, the grips wore down and it was time to move on?
Yeah, it was just time to move on type deal. I wanted my own story, my own image.
Is there much difference between these darts and the Adrian Lewis darts?
Yeah, it's the specs of the drilling are pretty different, but the actual how to say, like the rounding at the end of the tip, the end of the barrel, and the length are the same.
I've been handed something here. Oh, cool. I like these sort of questions. Like Osty's just put one in here. Do you have any weird fears, or like any big fears?
Yeah, I'm scared of heights.
Right. That's I suppose that's quite a common one. So I'm guessing you don't want to trip up Blackpool Tower at some point with us.
No, not at all. But I hate flying, so that's why it's big for me just to keep going back and forth. You know what I mean?
Here on Edgar TV, we do silly jokes. You know, we don't have quality jokes. We milk jokes to death, and we run with it. Such as, how does Bob Marley like his donuts? Is a traditional Edgar TV joke. Or, I used to be a medium, and now I'm a large. You know, it's another. Can you add anything to our arsenal of really pathetic jokes?
My favorite one is don't make me laugh because my eyes will close and I'll run into a pole because my eyes are slanted.
Right. Okay.
That's happened before.
What, you ran into a pole?
Someone told a joke and we were outside of a hotel, and you know how they have those poles down the sidewalk?
Right.
And I was laughing so hard I ran straight into one. Yeah.
Well, there's an exclusive for you there, guys, on Edgar TV.
How you like that?
There's an exclusive. Danny Baggish walks into a pole whilst laughing. And we don't mean Christoph Ratajski. Oh, where are we gone? I believe we lost him again here. I don't think we lost the stream this time. I think we just lost Danny. I think that's correct. Yeah, I think I'm still on the call. Oh, where's it gone? Let's see if we can get him back. Redial him.
Hello?
This is a proper Edgar TV stream, this. With the... when we get a couple of bad connection bits, this is what the Edgar Nation love. They... if they want a polished product with good editing, good quality, the darts referee Jack, he's the man for that. If you want the raw, simple, work. You know, although I'm saying that, I've got a huge microphone thing right here now. You know, we're going up in the world. I've got a stream deck that I haven't figured out how to work yet, but the microphone's good. I mean, it's coming through a little bit crystal clear. I'm guessing the sound, unless I've not turned it on. There's a button on it, and if you press it, it goes red, and if you press it again, it flashes red. I'm not sure which one it needs to be, so hopefully we'll figure that out at some point.
Yeah, no kidding.
There's also lots of other buttons and dials on it and things, and different like settings. At some stage, I'll figure out what they do as well. But
yeah.
The sound, by the way, guys, comes down to a bit of sponsorship actually that came to Edgar TV from Dartsmad. If you look in the video description, I've put their YouTube page. Go over there. They've got some interviews of their own. They're probably going to be clipping this as well and getting some highlights and putting a highlight video together of this. And they're going to be doing lots of videos and content. They've got a team working together at the moment to put together some really good darts YouTube stuff. So go check out Dartsmad on YouTube. I'll be they're linked in the description below. I'll put them in here as well a bit later on, so you can have a look at that. Among Us. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
No. Are you a gamer at all? Do you play computer games, or?
I do not.
No. That's why we don't heard of Among Us. Among Us is. It's like Cluedo for the internet, I'd say. You know,
Okay.
nice little game. I'll introduce you to it at some point. You'll probably tell me it's a load of garbage and that you never. But then again, when I shown Jodie was like, "I'm never playing that game," and now she'll sit and play it for like 4 hours straight.
Nice. Okay, I like it.
I went to bed the other night and I was sleeping, and well, of course, I'm a busy man, a working man, and running about 4 jobs here at the same time, and I was tired and I went to bed, and she was sat there for like 4 hours just playing Among Us, and I'm like,
It wasn't 4 hours though. You're a bit exaggerated.
I've told you a million times I don't exaggerate. You've always got to get the little silly jokes in there as well.
Absolutely.
Right, let's see. I'm looking through my list of questions, see if I can find that killer one to close it out with. There's got to be one killer question in here somewhere that I can really. Shane Weeks, we've covered that one. You will be using the new darts at Q School. Oh, here we go. Let's have a read of these ones. What's the weirdest country you have been in? I'm guessing it's going to be the UK.
Sure, that's the only one I've been in.
What grammar darts do you currently use?
Mine are 21s.
21s. Oh, yeah, joining the 21 club. Snap. There's so many questions here, guys. It's brilliant. Let's see if we can find a killer one to finish off with. Do you know when your darts are going on sale?
Yeah, great question. Whoever asked that one, once again, you meet me afterwards. Yeah, they went on sale yesterday.
Nice.
And they sold out within 3 hours.
Did they not make many of them then?
Say that again?
Did they not make many sets?
500.
Oh, wow. That's just shot me right down. Here I go, jumping in with a joke, jumping in with they must not have made many sets. And then you come back, 500 sets sold out in like minutes. And I'm like, oh, brilliant. That's just put my joke right in its place.
Thanks to everyone. But I say they sold out. There's all the soft tips are sold out. All the 21 grams are sold out. Only 23 grams left. And they're starting on the second production soon.
Awesome. Good stuff. So I think the one thing we can see from the chat tonight is that the support is certainly on your side for Q School. I don't think there's anyone in here who hasn't believed that you're getting a card, and I think you're coming over here to get a card as well, so it'll be great to see you on the tour next year. Thanks obviously for coming on and giving your time today. It's much
Absolutely.
appreciated, and like I say, your name's been coming up so much in the comment section of a lot of videos, especially the Q School related things, so it's great to pop on and have a little bit of a chat with the Edgar Nation. I will be leaving this up as a video, so if anyone wants to watch it back, or if you're watching it for the first time, hello. You need to come live. You need to watch it live. Get your own questions in. But
yeah, I just want to say thank you, and man, I think we hit it off pretty good at the World Championships. You're a good guy. Obviously, it has to be the best podcast YouTube video in the world. And it's an honor to be on here. And thank you for everyone joining in and for the support. And I hope to make everyone proud, including myself.
I'm sure you will. We'll be rooting for you for sure. We'll be watching on a few live streams, and I'm sure we'll be following your games with interest. And like I say, hopefully we'll see you on the tour next year.
Got it. And don't forget, when I come over, I will be hitting you up for these cricket games. And whatever else we got to get to.
Kebab.
Yeah, a better kebab, I guess.
Kebab, poker, cricket. We're gonna have a great time.
Absolutely. You got it, man.
So I'm just going to quickly drop in here, guys, a link for next week's show. Next week's show is Dan Dawson coming on the show. That'll be a very interesting interview for sure. So check that one out next week. Again, guys, please do go check out Dartsmad. They've supported this sort of stream with some really good technology for us, some really good quality sound, and some good stuff to improve the stream, to improve your viewing of this. They've got some great stuff coming up, so please do go check those out. The link is in the description for Dartsmad. I'll try and put it in here. I don't know if it'll let me share a channel, but I'll put it in there. If you can see that, great. If not, then please just check the video description. Go over there, put a subscribe on. You won't be disappointed. They've got some amazing stuff coming out soon. Thanks again to Danny, and I'm going to say we'll see you next week. Buddy. Okay, we're off stream now.